Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. Another good day for NVIDIA shareholders. In this video, we'll discuss if NVIDIA can maintain its upside momentum this week using technical charts and data analysis. We'll also take a look the impact of CPI or inflation data on NVIDIA and other stocks. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 107.81. It made a high 109.40. It made a low 104.95 and it closed at 108.10. That is 1.53% up. So today's upside is also in line with my yesterday expectation. I had an opinion that today Nvidia most likely is going to go up. So 2 days in a row, yesterday plus today, is about 6% up, and that's a good sign. If you see today's NVIDIA stock movement, you will notice some volatility on NVIDIA stock. There was no clear trend before the afternoon. You see ups and down and ups and down. But sometime after 12 o'clock Eastern time, it got the positive momentum. And for tomorrow, I guess Nvidia will maintain its volatility, but it's hard to predict if Nvidia will close positive or negative tomorrow. And it would also depend on the CPI and inflation data. Let's take a look. On your screen, you see the historical data for CPI actuals versus forecast and the latest forecast as well. In this cycle, the forecast is 2.6% for the overall CPI. And last four cycle, you can notice the actuals came lower than the forecast. So in this cycle, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm guessing the actuals may not come lower than the forecast. And for core CPI, you can notice in last probably four cycle or maybe five cycle, the actuals did not come higher than the forecast. It was either lower than the forecast or just matched the forecast. In this cycle, forecast is 3.2%. So I'm guessing actuals also either should come lower than the forecast or just match the forecast in case of core CPI. And if you can take a look the chart, you see that after some time in July 2023, CPI downward movement has been very slow. Same with the core CPI. And the reason we probably know that the Fed had stopped doing the rate hike sometime in 2023 and also had not done any hike in 2024 as well. We're expecting some rate cut in the next meeting. Probably that's going to happen on 19th, I guess, this month. So that probably would be the right time for the Fed to start doing the rate cut. And this file is available at my Patreon account. So if you are an exclusive member, you can access this file from my Patreon account. Now let's take a look forward PE for Nvidia and other AI stocks. So at this point, Nvidia forward P is at 35.10. Continues to go up from yesterday, slightly higher than the last week closing. Palantir continues to go up. Right now, 102.24, the forward P. SMCI also went up today. The forward P is 12.99. And also AMD also went up today. And that makes AMD forward P higher than yesterday, and that is 37.10 at this point. So based on the forward P, Nvidia still has some room to go further up this week, and I still think that this week Nvidia should do a positive closing by the end of this week. I'm not saying that tomorrow or day after it would be a positive closing or not, but overall for this week, I'm guessing the closing would be higher than the last week closing. And this file is also available at my Patreon account. Now, let's take a look technical charts for Nvidia. You see in 90-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the MACD chart. As we noticed yesterday that the positive momentum started building up yesterday and the MACD line started going up and it was slightly above zero line yesterday. And yesterday I had an opinion that it might carry the positive momentum today as well. And that's what exactly happened today as well. Is still MACD line above zero line. But right now looks to me rather flat at this point. So tomorrow um, it's a 50-50. It can go further up or it can go down. So based on MACD, I'm expecting some volatility on NVIDIA stock tomorrow. Now let's take a look Fibonacci levels. You see Fibonacci levels on your screen, and based on Fibonacci levels, we noticed yesterday that 108.2 was the next resistance level. So at this point, you see that NVIDIA stock is moving around 108, and Nvidia tried to break this resistance level multiple times in the past, but it was not able to. So it'd be interesting tomorrow if Nvidia can break this resistance, but eventually Nvidia should break this resistance level. And after that, the next resistance is 115, and after that is 126.7. So 115 is also a strong resistance, but in my opinion 126 is a benchmark that can tell me if Nvidia had got the strong positive momentum that it used to have in the last quarter. The lower side, the next support level is at 100.6, and I mentioned yesterday that is a strong support level. Nvidia tried to go further down below 100 in the past, but it was not able to do that. You see, it was a pushback from here. At this point, the positive momentum looks stronger than the negative momentum on Nvidia. So there is a chance that based on the Fibonacci levels, Nvidia should close positive in next few days. Now let's take a look Bollinger Bands. You see Bollinger Bands on your screen, and you can notice that the gap between the upper band and the lower band is closing as of this morning, and that suggests that Nvidia stock movement is contracting at this point. And you can notice that last week we had rapid movement on Nvidia stock. The gap between the upper band and the lower band was much higher than this week. But one good thing you can notice that Nvidia stock is higher than the 20-day moving average, that is the blue line, and is trying to touch the upper band. So this suggests that the upward momentum is higher than the downward momentum at this point on Nvidia. Now let's take a look some news regarding Nvidia. Starting with this one, this says that the economy is weakening. It's time to sell stocks in these sectors, and that is from Barron's. I do not agree with this analysis. I don't think that economy is weakening, but I kind of agree that in next few months market would be volatile because of the political situation or because of the elections. Historically speaking, stocks had shown much higher volatility before the election, and I showed you this data sometime last month. And now this says that here is why Newton Investments John Porter remains bullish on Nvidia. Let's take a look. So this is a video. I do not want to show this video, but overall I agree that Nvidia future outlook is bullish. Another good one regarding Nvidia that says Nvidia expected to grow quickly through 2026. And that also makes sense, in next few quarters, as we noted yesterday, that Nvidia stock movement may not be as aggressive as we saw in early 2024, but later 2025 and 2026, Nvidia would start gaining strong momentum again. That's what I think. Because by that time, we would have more product launches from Nvidia and further expanded market in the AI sector. Now, this is regarding TSMC. It says that TSMC stock drops. Why raising chip sales are not boosting its shares? Yes, it's correct. Today, TSMC stocks dropped a little bit. Let's take a look. It's about 0.22% down, but overall in last 5 days, they are still positive. It's 2.16% up. So I do not think a big risk on TSMC at this point. I guess that's all about news regarding Nvidia and overall market. Let's take a look other AI stocks. So you can notice on my watch list, most of the stocks ended green today, with the exception of SoundHound and Apple. And the highest positive change is in Avago, that is 5.25% up. And Nvidia kind of lie in the middle. So that's all about NVIDIA analysis and assessment for rest of the week. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.